time to relax at East Turku, so you can take a picture while listening to my stories. So, how's the first impression after entering? Beautiful and very calm, peaceful. By the way, when you think about Korea, I mean South Korea only, not North Korea, then what first comes to your mind? Please tell me, anything is okay. Kimchi, always on the first place. Thank you.
Bibimbap.
Bibimbap, yes. Food is always on the first place. Kimchi, bibimbap. Anything else? Pardon? Running Man, entertainment product. Okay, thank you. How about big companies?
Daewoo.
Yeah, Samsung Electronics, LG Electronics, or Hyundai Motors. Hyundai Motors, and how about the famous singer Psy? Gangnam Style, horse dancing. Yes, but I think they are the present of Korea. But today I'd like to share the past of Korea, the Joseon Dynasty first to be here. Have you heard of the Joseon Dynasty? Actually, some of you might have heard about this dynasty. But for your reference, the Joseon Dynasty was the less than longest ruling Confucian dynasty of Korea by total 27 kings from 1392 to 1910, more than 500 years. So all the 5 palaces in Seoul were first built during the Joseon Dynasty. So this Sangdeokgung Palace with the Secret Garden was first built in 1405 to serve as a secondary palace for the original main palace called Gyeongbokgung Palace. But all the palace buildings in Seoul were totally burnt down in 1592 during a 7-year war against Japan. After this war ended, Sangdeokgung became the first palace to be rebuilt since 1610, and it started to serve as a virtual primary one until Gyeongbokgung Palace was rebuilt in the late 19th century. So for about 270 years, total 13 kings of the Joseon Dynasty has been state affairs here. And also the last royal family members, like the last crown princess and the last princess here, used this palace until 1989, just 27 years ago. And both of them passed away in number 9, Naksunje Complex in the palace building area. So this Sangdeokgung Palace was used most recently among all the 5 palaces in Seoul. Originally, this 74-acre wide garden was an exclusive venue for the royal family to relax and hold various national ceremonies, official ceremonies. So the common Joseon people could not visit this garden without the king's permission during the dynasty. But the garden area was open to the public during Japanese rule since the early 20th century. Then many people who've been to here began to call this garden the Secret Garden. That was named after one new office in charge of gardening. The name of the office was the Secret Office. Yes, and many people began to call this real garden also the Secret Garden. So this first course was a relatively open venue for many royal retreats as well as studying during the dynasty. Interestingly, Koreans' ancestors, Joseon people, believed one house idea that heaven is round and the earth is square. Usually, so they built this kind of square pond with a round island as a symbol of the square earth and round heaven to show their vision of the universe to the descendants. Also, they built this stylish pavilion on your left, like a lotus flower in shape. Especially whenever people look down at this summer house from above on the hill, then the pavilion itself has a cross-shaped exterior roof that points out in forward directions, and this exterior would look like a lotus flower in full bloom on the water in shape. So here was where many kings enjoyed taking in the view, and particularly this king in this picture, the 22nd king, Jeongjo, who was the most powerful king ever, loved this place path. So sometimes the king would call his officers to launch boats onto the pond and let his subjects to improvise a short poem within a certain time limit in turn as a recreational game. It's one of the ways to relieve stress out for the royal family. So anyone who failed to make a rhyme for a short poem on time had to go to that deserted island and stand like this as a penalty. So then the king and his other officers could make fun of the loser of the game while enjoying the party here. Then they could create a strong bond. Please don't get serious. It was just one of the ways to win treasure at the time. Okay. And when you look at the right side, that big building was the royal library and the think tank for many kings. So a lot of kings could enlighten the whole nation based on that big building. And when you look down a little, there are three entrances to go to that big building. And especially only king could use that large gate in the center, while all his officers had to pass through those gates to his side. Very small gates. So all the subjects had to bend their back down like me, and this kind of behavior was another way to show respect to the king at the time, because the Joseon dynasty was a Confucian dynasty. Okay. Next one is approaching the Lotus Pavilion. That big building was a perfect place to get some rest here, and now that building is the only one that you can get in after taking your shoes off. So you can see what the inside looks like and get some rest sitting on the floor over there. Thank you for listening, and now it's around 2:42, then we will have a 5-minute break. Then you can use the amenities like a washroom and a gift shop over there on your right. Okay, thank you. Then let's take a 5-minute break.